Awards held yesterday evening, our very own business anchor and reporter Abby Agena has been named the award winner in the geothermal power generation category. He bagged the award in what the judges termed a highly contested category. His report on Kenya's new quest to scale up investments in geothermal energy won him the prestigious award. The report had sought to showcase just why geothermal energy was a key energy source for Africa and would have a major impact on the cost of electricity in the country going forward. The winner received a trophy, a certificate, and a shopping voucher from the event organizers, the Kenya Electricity Generating Company, KENGEN.
We want to fast track the development of our oil fields, which we discovered in the year 2012. Therefore, we want to use road transport, and then we had talked about RVR, and we have made provision also to track it all the way from Lokichar to Mombasa, and we export the crude oil. Why? Why do you have to do that? It is not commercially viable. It is symbolic for the country.
This is KTN News.
Right, so it's that time of the night that we get to learn a few English words and their pronunciations. Let me bring in Willice, the word master, joining us live from Kisumu County. Willice, how are you this evening? You look really bright in, is that peach or orange?
It's red, Betty.
Oh.
I'm fine. And
Colorblind.
how have you been throughout the week?
I'm great, Willice. It's great to see you this evening, and I understand that we have a hot segment coming up. So let's begin by taking a look at our word on the street, Willice.
It has to be, Betty.
Ripetera.
Ripato. Ripato.
Rebripto.
Ripatua. Ripatua.
Ripatreta.
Ripatia.
So, Willice, is it repatia? That one is that's a tough one, Willice.
Well, and it's a rare word in basic English, Betty. Now, we say repertoire. Repertoire. The other versions, no, repertoire. Repertoire.
Okay.
Tour.
All right.
We also say reservoir, not reservoir, there, and all that.
Okay.
Reservoir.
Reservoir.
Repertoire.
Okay. Repertoire. Got it, Willice.
Yes.
Moving on to another one. Do we say famine or famine? This is a word that quite a number of people have asked me to put it out to you. So, do we say, there's famine or there's famine?
You say min, not
Min.
mine. We have the word mine, that is
Yes.
M-I-N-E, that is mine. But it's different from this one. This one is famine.
Famine.
And we should remember that we also say masculine.
Okay.
Masculine.
All right.
Feminine, not nine.
Okay.
So
Feminine.
the word you've asked about is famine, feminine, masculine.
All right. It's good that you've talked about masculine because you hear a lot of masculine. So that is wrong. So it's masculine.
It happens, Betty.
All right. Moving on to the next word, Willice. Do we say, okay, so there's, of course, visual. Let me spell this one out. V-I-S-U-A-L. Visual, you hear visual. How do we go about that?
Betty, you say joel. We have the voiced sound j. So for letter S. So you say visual. Visual, just like casual and usual. Visual, casual and usual. So we have the sound j. Yes.
All right, got it, Willis. Moving on to this other word, description, description. How do we go about that one?
From the verb, Betty, we say describe.
Describe.
To describe.
Yes.
Then we say describe. Then description, descriptive. So letter E takes the short or pure vowel sound E.
E.
Describe, description, descriptive.
Okay. Got it, Willis.
Yes.
Moving on to this other word, it also has that de or d. So is it desperate? Is that how, that's the correct pronunciation, Willis? Desperate? Desperate?
Oh, in that case, it takes letter E in the first syllable, now takes the sound E, the pure sound E. Desperate.
Desperate.
Yes.
Desperate. Okay, Willis,
Yes.
let's move on to this other word, glamorous. Glamorous. You hear, I heard someone talking about glamorous. Talk to us about that one, Willis.
You know, when you talk about that word, it reminds me about people who say Giro Bank.
Oh, okay.
We don't have Giro Bank. It's G-I-R-O-S, but we should not pronounce what we see. You say gyro.
Okay.
Gyro Bank, not Giro Bank. Yes, very tricky. But
Okay,
the word
that's
that you
interesting.
asked about, Betty, we have glamour. Glamour,
Yes.
that is the noun, glamour. But when we come to inflection, that is changing the form of that word for grammatical function.
Right.
In this case, when it functions as an adjective, we don't say glamorous. You say glamorous.
Oh.
Glamour, glamorous.
Oh, okay.
Vapor, vaporous, not vaporous.
Okay, Willis. So,
Pastoral, not
Okay.
pastoral. Yes.
okay, so
We
Willis.
call them inflections, Betty.
Yeah, so you got me off guard, Willis, because I'm
Yes.
one of those who say glamorous. You know, you say it so proudly and confidently.
Yeah, glamorous, no.
Okay. So it's
You know, I've always said, Betty,
Yeah.
when there is a word that is commonly mispronounced in your locality, in most cases, when you get the correct pronunciation, you may say, what?
yes.
Is he kidding? Because you are used to the wrong pronunciation, and you may even be very confident about what you are saying without knowing that you are mispronouncing the English word.
Yes.
As I always say, let English be English, but let us find out through research what exactly should we say when it comes to such and such a word.
Okay. All right, Willis. Got it. So it's glamorous. Is that correct? Glamorous.
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 There you are. Glamorous, but
yes.
the noun is glamour.
Glamour. All right. That one is actually mine, you know.
Yes.
So let's go to the next one, Willis. Okay, so we have retrogressive or retrogressive. That also R-E at the onset.
You say retrogressive.
Okay.
Retrogressive.
That's also another
The
surprise.
prefix retro, or when it functions as an adjective, you say retro, not retro.
Okay.
Even in retrospect, not in retrospect.
Okay.
Retrogressive, retroviral, or retrovirus, and all that. So
All right.
in most cases, we should be understanding what I always call the English phonology. That is the sound system in English language. Every language is very important, Betty, whether it's your mother tongue, whether it's Kiswahili, whether it's what, but you should understand the grammar, the vocabulary, or matters relating or concerning the choice of words. That is diction.
Yes.
And also you come to the phonology, the sound system. How
right.
words are pronounced, very important in terms of sound units and sequences.
Willis, you know, you're making English sound like a science. I always say that, but that explanation is, you know, is enough. It's enough to cover like a
Betty.
double lesson.
There you are.
All right. So it's retrogressive. Got it. Willis, let's move on to our feedback question.
Retrogressive.
Yes. Okay, so let's move to our feedback question. Now, it's by one Obachi Machoka, who's a big fan of the show. He's asking about this word, and I'll spell it out.
That man really loves the program.
That's great. So he's asking about this word. Let me spell it out. Liaise. Lias. You have about lias. Lias with Betty to get
Betty,
that thing done.
I just wanted to start with that.
Uh-huh.
We should avoid saying to liars with somebody or to liars with an organization. You don't say liars. Liars, just avoid that, especially in careers of serious communication. We say liaise, to liaise with somebody, to liaise with an organization in doing something. So liars, I don't know where that one came from, just like the word the days. The days. Many people say dias.
Oh.
When we talk of alias so and so,
yeah,
you hear people talking about alias. So I don't know where we get dias, alias, and liars. We should avoid those ones. We should say liaise, to liaise with somebody. Then we talk about the days.
The days,
not the dias. And we also say alias so and so. Alias Wanugu. Alias Kiriamiti.
Okay.
And before we leave that, Betty, this man who loves the show so much, Fred Obachi Machoka, many people call him Uncle. This is one man who deserves a pat on the back on whatever he does, because he's so sure of what he does and he knows what to do when. And we should tell him also, happy birthday.
Oh, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Fred Obachi Machoka.
I saw something like that on the internet today.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Fred Obachi Machoka.
Okay. So Willis, so it's liaise, days, and alias,
liaise.
not alias.
Liaise.
Okay.
We should also avoid liaise. Liaise should also be avoided.
Okay.
Liaise. Liaise.
All right.
Yes.
Liaise. Okay, Willis, let's move on. You know, they say Kizungu ilikuja na Melis. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Okay.
I know. Somebody once cracked a very big joke, and I don't know what he meant by saying Kizungu kilikuja kwa meli na Willis alikuwa ndani. I just told him, thank you. But you see, I think that was a very big joke, but a humorous one for that matter.
So Willis, just before we go to the surprise word, so it's Kizungu kilikuja na meli. I got that correction, Willis. You're trying to be really good, you know.
Kilikuja kwa meli, lakini sasa hapo ukija kwa Kiswahili, ukipata wenzetu kama
Mashirima
jamaa
Kapombe
mkali sana
pale.
kwa Kiswahili hapo Radio Maisha, akina Mashirima Kapombe upande wa TV na Tom Japani, ukija kwa Kiswahili na wenzake pia, unajua ninajaribu pia kidogo tu kutoka Kisumu.
Nasikia kwa umbali, nasikia unakuja really strongly. Okay. So Willis,
kidogo tu.
Okay, so Willis, let's get to the next word. Our surprise word, Willis. Do we have any? Well, I was surprised with glamorous and not glamorous. Do you have any in your? Okay, there you go. All right.
I can't miss a surprise word. You know, the English vocabulary is very wide.
Okay.
Betty, looking at this word, you'd agree with me that many people would say or always say nuclei or nuclei.
Nuclei.
Nuclei or nuclei from what is seen. But I've also cautioned people, you know, time without number, that the English phonology sometimes is a bit tricky or irregular for that matter.
Right.
Certain words are not pronounced by following the spelling very closely.
Right.
Like this word, this is the plural of nucleus.
Nucleus.
But we don't say nuclei or nuclei.
Okay.
Nucleus, not nuclear.
Yes.
Nucleus, the plural of nucleus, Nucleus, nucleus. But this one is the plural form. So we say nuclei or nuclei. Clei is the tricky part. Clei.
What are you saying?
Nuclei or nuclei. I knew it would be a surprise to you and so many other people out there.
Nuclei what?
Nuclei, no. Nuclei, no.
Okay.
Nuclei, no. You say liai, liai. A glide over 3 vowel sounds. Liai, liai.
Nuclei
or nuclei.
Nuclei.
You get that? You don't drag so much.
Okay. Nuclei.
Nuclei or nuclei. Betty, that is like you need a class from the look of things.
That one, you know, my mother tongue has refused.
Betty,
This is not my English that has refused.
I know.
Okay, Willice. All right.
So, Betty, just to cap it all, you know, sometimes we have the confusing words.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the two words here in or on my flashcard, when we talk of appease, that one is the upper word, appease. That is each. Like, so and so scored 2 goals apiece. Appease. With the voiceless sound, appease. That is why we have the C, the upper word.
Okay.
Don't say appease.
All
When
right.
you say appease, what you are referring to is the lower word or the word below.
All
That
right.
is to appease the ancestors, to appease the dead.
All right.
And when we are talking of Z, that is the voiced sound.